Hi, I'm John from Just Music. If you like today's show, give it a thumbs up, like, and subscribe. And today, we are going to be talking about the new Beatles Anthology with the fourth anthology for 2025. Is it worth it? In my opinion. And what I have here is the original anthology. Um, each one of these, disc one, two, and three, has two CDs in each one. So the original anthology had 6 CDs, issue one, two, and three. And as you can see, as they're lined up, they make a cohesive collage. And then over here to my left, your right, is old school, the anthology documentary on VHS. And yes, I still have a VHS player, and these still are playable. Um, so, what they're doing for 2025 is also they're re releasing the Beatles Anthology book. Okay, this is a huge coffee table book. Um, I don't even look how many pages. It's the anthology book, which came out. These all came out in the 90s when George Harrison was still alive. Um, and this one has what, 360 something pages. This book. So my understanding is they're going to re-release this with, I don't know, updated photo. They'd be the same photos, but I think they're calling them, remastered photos or whatever. All right, let's get into the nitty gritty, shall we? Again, this is the old one. The new 2025 Beatles Anthology is going to have a fourth addition to it with two CDs in it. And each one will have a 40-page booklet. But basically, they are remastering the old anthology. So the first three, we're going to talk about the fourth separately, but the first three is basically this, just remastered by Giles Martin, who is the son of George Martin, the famous producer of all the Beatles records. And so you're basically just getting a revamped version of this. In my opinion, is that necessary? Probably not. Um, and so for the CDs, the total price of the new 2025 is going to be about $120, and the vinyl version is $375. And so the fourth edition is going to have 13 unreleased tracks and 17 songs that have been selected from other Super Deluxe releases. So they've already been available on, let's just say, the White Album Super Deluxe. And they call it Fascinating Outtakes from 1963 to 1969. And on the fourth edition, you get 2025 remixes of Free as a Bird and Real Love, which were originally produced by Jeff Lynne and then have been remastered by Jeff Lynne. Okay, so that does intrigue me. And then also they're putting the new Beatles song Now and Then, which was produced by Giles Martin, Paul McCartney, and Jeff Lynne. My understanding, that came out last year, and time flies, a year or so ago, that Now and Then. And so that's probably going to be the same exact version, which was put on one of the the blue and black, I mean the blue and red Beatles special editions. They threw that on there as kind of an enticement. Um, but in a nutshell, what really all you're getting besides the 40-page extra booklet in edition 4, um, we're basically getting 13 unreleased tracks. And this, I don't know, I've already looked on the track listing, but I didn't thoroughly study it to figure out exactly which one of those 13s were unreleased, because they didn't have it listed as unreleased at that time. Looking at the track listings for Anthology disc number 4, which has 2 CDs in it, disc 1 of the 4th edition, it gets convoluted, I know. The highlights for me, without going to every single track listing, and these could very well, these highlights for me could have very well already been released on other super deluxe releases. Okay, so I didn't do my homework on that. But on the disc 1 of the 4th edition for Anthology, I am interested to hear on track 6, it's Matchbox Take 1. So I think that would be pretty cool. And track 10 on disc 1 is In My Life Take 1. I think that's pretty cool. Again, these could be available on other releases. I didn't fact check that. Disc 2, something that stuck out for me is on track 2 on disc 2, the song Good Night, which is the last song on the White Album, which is the weakest track on that whole White Album. Ringo sings it, and it's a lullaby. But take 10, they have a guitar part that was from take 5. Okay, so I know that it gets convoluted, but it would be cool to hear a guitar part on that orchestration orchestration of Good Night. Also, too, which I don't think I've heard before, which I'm really intrigued by, is on disc 2, track 3 is While My Guitar Gently Weeps. It's the 3rd version of that, and it's take 27. So the original version was just George, which is on Anthology disc 3, I believe. It's just George doing his acoustic version of While My Guitar Gently Weeps, like a demo version of it, which I absolutely love. So the 3rd version of While My Guitar Gently Weeps, if it's take 27, I'm guessing it's the whole band involved. So it's probably the version that we are more familiar with on the radio and on the White Album. But it just goes to show you, take 27, and this is, far into the Beatles' career, and they were masterful musicians. But to do 27 takes, there were probably many more. It just shows you what perfectionists they were, and for that to relay onto the actual albums that we listen to, it just shows you how much work goes into those songs. Also on disc 2 on the 4th edition, is track 11 is Don't Let Me Down, and they're calling it the first rooftop performance. So that sounds intriguing to me. And then, like I already alluded to, on track 15, 16, and 17 are the remastered versions by Jeff Lynne of Free as a Bird and Real Love. And then the Now and Then song is tossed on there. I'm intrigued by the disc 4, and you know how eBay is and how collectors are. Maybe at some point it'll appear on eBay. Maybe people's, it'll probably take a while, but I'm sure if you go on eBay, you can find Anthology 1, 2, 3 as separate entities. So maybe in time, disc 4 would be available, and that would be what I would be interested in. I don't feel the need, although I'm intrigued, and the price isn't too bad. $120, and you're getting 8 CDs, so the cost per each CD isn't too bad. Plus, you get a 40-page booklet. Um, so, yeah, that's all I really have to say about it. It's coming out in November. Um, is it November? I should know this already. It's coming out soon. It's still pre-order from Amazon, or I'm sure on Beatles websites and all that kind of stuff. Um, so yeah, either September or November. It'll well before Christmas, that's for sure. Um, so that's all I have to say. Intrigued. My other concern, this is all I have to say, is I'm going to wrap it up here, but what concerns me is the original CDs from the Beatles were released when CDs first came out in the late actually as soon as CDs came out, so that would have been like in the 90s somewhere, right? 1990s. Then they re-released them, I think, just on all mono versions, and now they're Giles Martin is remastering all of these, all of their albums over time. And my concern is you're going to get so many different versions, recorded, remastered versions of all these songs. In the future, it is going to be very hard to figure out which song you're actually listening to. I mean, if you just go on Spotify or a streaming service and you just click on Beatles Help, let's just say, what version is it going to play for you? You know, is it going to be the original version, the mono version, the remastered version, the re-release version? And this is the Beatles, so I think we haven't seen the end of it. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me 100 years from now, there'll be, by then it'll be some little microchip the size of your pinky that you put in your phone that will play everything, and the documentary and everything will be on there. Who knows? But anyway, thanks for watching, everybody, and take care and rock on. Listen to Beatles.